everyone else was the fact that they themselves didn't join. Yes, some of them, Saudi Arabia wasn't.
Okay, but they were under protection. So
Yes.
after the boundary system ended, then you can go. Can you please stop?
We have some coffee.
It is allowed, in England it's allowed.
We have some coffee.
No, it's not. We have laws in England, you're allowed to take photographs.
I don't want to. I don't.
Well, you don't have to want to, but we've got laws in England, and I respect our laws. People photograph me for everyone. It's fine, it's the way it is.
Can we have some coffee?
No, sorry.
You are in the public domain. You chose to speak out.
I'm not the sort of way. I'm exactly the same. Sorry, carry on.
You need to take some blood tests.
No, international law and every democracy says otherwise. You'll never make peace with Israel, so the occupation won't end. And it's all your own fault. All your own fault.
You're right,
Tell
you're
your
right.
country to grow up and join the United Nations like
They
everyone
deserve
else.
Arabs what they got.
Anyway, well done Israel for being smart and joining the United Nations. Well done Israel.
You should kick them
And
all
the
out.
Palestinians will
puts on a
blame
good
everyone
show.
else for their own failures. That's why they're a backward third world country. Do you know, Palestine in 1948 was a backward third world country. The United Nations gave something to the Jews. The part belonging to the Jews is now one of the most advanced countries in the world, but the bit run by the Arabs is still a backward third world country. Those countries, those Muslim countries that are backward third world countries, if they get democracy, education, equality for women, independent media, they could be just like the Western countries. And I look forward to that day. And I hope the Arab Spring, where they got rid of their dictatorships, they don't just replace them with Islamic Sharia law dictatorships.
Why you don't just finish
If they
them?
do, they'll remain
What you wearing?
countries.
What you wearing?
Pardon?
What you wearing? Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, you can read, you don't need to ask me.
So let me tell you something. A Jew is an European imposter. And they have no right in Palestine. End of topic. A Jew is a European
You're welcome
imposter.
to your belief.
Show me the
And he
history
will
book.
agree with you.
Show me the history book. Show me the book.
Every Muslim will agree with you. The
Come to
rest
the-
of the world,
come to the British
the rest of the
Museum.
world recognises
Go to
Israel's
the
right to
British Museum.
exist.
See your black emperor and tell me
All
where
the
the Jew exists.
all the backward third world Muslim dictatorships don't recognise Israel.
All right.
All the
Go
advanced
to the British
Western
Museum. See
democracies
your black emperor.
recognise
And
Israel.
tell me when Jew exists.
I'm on the side of the Western
A Jew is a
democracies.
European imposter.
I'm on the side of the Western democracies.
I mean, I'm not a fucking asshole there. Everybody preaching. The world is so much in the fucking mess. If everybody was not the same shit as you, it would not be like that. Stop preach. Everybody preaching. Everybody has something to say.
We'll clap.
Okay?
All the Muslims will clap. Yes.
Everybody has something to say.
Do you know why there's
If
such
you don't
backward
tolerate this
countries in the
shit,
Middle
it's
East?
not happening. You tolerate this
In the
fucking
Middle
shit
East,
you're about.
they're poor backward countries. They waste their precious resources.
You tolerate the same
on
shit
weapons
you're
trying to
complaining
destroy
about.
Israel.
Or else the world will not be in that mess.
And billions of dollars they spent trying to destroy Israel, and they failed. If instead they spent their money educating their people,
My friend,
they would be backward
my
third world
friend,
countries.
Israelite is not the Jew.
He's punishing you.
Israelite is not the Jew.
The God of the Quran is
fucking
punishing
idiot.
you.
Israelite is not the Jew.
Yes.
An Israelite is an Israelite. The Jew is a fucking Jew.
Muslim.
A black man is an Israelite. Just like you are the black emperor.
That the Jews.
So how can you come with Palestine? Stupid, all people stupid.
So the Quran says the Jews will return. And the Muslims aren't just fighting against Israel, they're fighting against their own Quran. That's That's why they lose miserably every time. Someone who follows the Quran and is a backward third world person.
Someone who submits his will to Allah subhanahu wa
No.
ta'ala.
In that case, the Muslims in the Middle East are not Muslims.
Submit your will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So why don't you start doing so? Why is Allah punishing the Muslims? Why, there are 57 Muslim countries. They're all backward third world countries. Some have got lots of oil. They can pay Westerners to come and make them look nice. But Allah keeps them backward third world countries. Their own Quran says the Jews are going to return. But the Muslims, when the Jews returned, try to kick them out against their own Quran. That's why you're a backward third world people.
From where?
All around the world.
Which one?
I said all around the world. There's only one world, all around the world.
Your one?
So, if you're against the Quran and Israel and all the democracy in the world, no wonder you fail every time you attack Israel. And you're so undereducated, you haven't got the sense to see it. One day they'll wake up in the Middle East, get an education, look at the facts, read their own Quran, and they'll say, okay, the Jews will return exactly as Allah promised in his Quran. Let's just live with it.
What's it got to do with you?
I have an interest in it. That's why.
What's it got to do with you?
Same as I like football, all kinds of things.
Why don't you talk
Well,
about
clearly
football?
you're wrong, because I'm standing here talking about it, so I clearly have got an interest in it. My guess is you support the Palestinians, don't you?
Why not? What's wrong with them?
I was from the people who
Don't
made
you like
silly
them?
statements, usually support the Palestinian side. He says, I've got
I
no
see.
interest in Israel. Here I am, on a ladder, with a t-shirt saying Israel on it,
Yeah,
and
I'm
he
asking,
says,
what's it got to
I've
do
got
with
no
you?
interest in Israel.
No, I said, what's it
How
got to do with
stupid can you get?
You're lying, number one. I
Anyway,
said, what's it got to do with you? Nothing.
I said I have an interest in it.
It's not
If
your
you want to
country, is it?
pretend,
You're not Jewish
you
or
said
Palestinian, are
you
you?
said it's got nothing to
Are
do
you
with
Jewish?
me. I am, as it happens.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Luckily, the majority of people in the world who support Israel are Christians.
And why
I'm
is
very glad of that.
And why is that?
Because in their Christian gospel, Jesus says the Jews are going to return.
what do you as a
So
Jew
there
say
we are.
about Jesus?
So that is why the Jews, that is why the
And what do
Christians
you as
support him.
Jews say about Jesus?
Well, he came around after the Torah was written. So who knows?
Isn't it a fact that you say his mother was a prostitute?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, really? Because I spoke to a rabbi and I think he knows more about your religion than you.
Well,
And
you
that's
see,
exactly what
some
he said.
Christians say that he was a bastard because he hadn't got a father.
No, that's
I
what-
don't say that, and most
Well, your
Jews are
religion
respectful. But people,
Why do they
against,
support your
people who
religion
are
when you
against
say
the
that about
Jews
him?
will go out of their way to try and find something to make the Jews look bad. Always
No,
happens.
that's
The last
you look bad
3,000
because
years
that's
it
what it
happened,
says in your book.
And it hasn't.
You look
in the
bad
Torah,
because that's what it says in your book. What do you
You're
say
wrong,
about
actually.
black people in your book?
you're wrong, actually.
What do you say about black
You're wrong about it,
people in your book?
But I'm sure you'll stand here slagging off the Jews. How come the
What does
Jews
it
are
say
so much
about
more
black
successful
people in your
than you? How much more successful
We'll see how
are the Jews than
successful
you?
they are in the end.
Well, for 2,000 years, the Jews have been successful in banking,
Slavery,
media, all kinds of
slavery. How many millions of slaves did you import from Africa to Brazil?
things. This man here is the reason
Slavery.
why Israel needs to exist. There's people like him in every generation who will do everything they
You
can
want to hide
make
the
the
truth.
Jews look bad.
What about
So
the
I'm glad we
history?
got Israel.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Why
Israel's
aren't you there then?
because of
Because it's
people
crap.
like him.
Don't worry. The world, there's no job. Everyone's leaving.
Closing in on you more and more.
No,
Closing
Israel's a toilet.
It's coming.
I've spoken to loads of Jews that
Once
don't
you
like
get
it.
all
There's nothing
there,
there.
once you get all there in Israel, he'll be closing in on you to strangle
What
you
does
there.
your religion say about black people?
You deserve it.
nothing much.
Oh, really?
You've been spreading
It doesn't say that they're
corruption.
cursed.
You've been
That
spreading
they're
corruption
cursed
on earth.
because
Now you have to pay.
the son of
You will pay one day.
Noah, he buggered his father. Is that
Closing
correct?
closing in, man.
Is that why that you justified slavery in
No.
Brazil
Who
for
did most of
thousands
the slavery in the
years?
world?
Jews.
The Christians.
No.
In South America, in America, in the Caribbean, Christians had slaves,
Rubbish.
black slaves. Oh, he's pretending it didn't happen. So the
What
British,
about Aaron
the
Lopez?
British, the
Aaron
British didn't
Lopez.
set up the slave trade,
He was the
taking them from the
biggest
slave
slave
market to West
master
Africa,
in Brazil.
take it to the British, Christian and American and South American
Yeah, but
slaves.
what you failed to
and he
realise-
pretends it didn't happen.
What you fail to
Can you
realise
believe
is
it?
the Christians
Do you know,
stopped
I'm so
the
glad
slavery.
the enemies of
You didn't
Israel
want to stop
are
it.
ignorant, stupid
They've always
idiots
been
like him.
hiding behind empires.
The Christians
Always.
stopped the slavery. You didn't want to stop it.
Behind Ottoman.
Rubbish.
Always hiding behind empires to get all around, grab all the world over. That's
You've
why
been
you do
slugging
all
off
the
the Jews for
time.
thousands of years.
Always hiding behind.
And what has he done?
Attack, because you
Nothing.
had all the resources,
Telling the truth
all the
is
richness,
slagging
and all the
people
money and the power. That
Do you know,
when
the
you went
Arabs
into
don't like
diaspora.
Israel. Why? Because Israel embarrasses the Arab
And
Muslim
now
world.
you're hiding behind the
Israel
American
is a
empire.
modern, developed
a fascist
democracy.
state.
And yet the Muslim countries are all backward third world countries. Some have got lots of oil. They can play Westerners to come and make them look nice.
jealous.
But they're backward
Oh.
third world countries. Except in the Middle East, Israel is a beacon of democracy.
Really?
And they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed by it.
So what about when Hamas won the election?
Zionist trust is another thing. Not democracy in Israel, don't tell me about it.
Oh, there's democracy in Israel.
Call it democracy.
Absolutely.
Democracy, all demons there.
He sees talking about the Jews and black people.
Yeah.
See this lady here, this black lady here.
Propaganda.
This black
Because
lady here,
recently
she's a
the
black
chief
Jew,
rabbi said
a
we're all
black Jew,
slaves. The non-Jew
and she was
is
made
the
Miss
slave
Israel.
of the Jew.
Voted
This is
by the Israeli
propaganda.
public as Miss Israel, a black Ethiopian Jew.
Propaganda,
And
because
yet
you had
that's
bad
not right.
publicity. Bad
Now,
publicity.
why do black Muslims from Darfur and Eritrea go to Israel to seek asylum? They don't go to Muslim countries.
Maybe they're
They
Jews.
pass through Muslim countries to go into Israel. They get treated better in Israel
Rubbish. They get
than they
treated
do
like
in
slaves.
Muslim countries.
In your religion, black people are slaves.
Do you know
You know
Egypt?
they have been at the
Egypt is called
of
the
what is it?
Arab
They call
Republic of
Haveli.
Egypt. But there are black people living in Egypt
So
as
they
Egyptian
speak Arabic.
citizens.
They're Arabs.
But
They're
it's
Arabs.
called the Arab Republic of Egypt.
Why can't you get
And
it
in
into your
Syria-
head? Arabs
in
are black,
Syria-
white, whatever.
Oh, Arabs are black and white, are
Yeah.
they? No, Arab is a
Have you
racial
seen
group.
Syrian people?
Black
They're
people,
whiter than
even
you.
if they learn Arabic, don't suddenly become Arabs. If I learn
That's what you believe. I don't
if I
believe
learn
that.
Arabic, it doesn't make me an Arab.
In my religion, I believe
In
if you speak
Syria,
Arabic, you're
they call it
Arab.
the Arab Republic of Syria. And yet there are millions of Kurdish people living there.
So?
Kurds who live in the Arab Republic of Syria.
What's your
and
point?
yet Israel is just called the
So
State
why are
of
you
Israel.
supporting Syria?
Just the State of Israel. All religions are permitted. The only place in the Middle East where all religions are permitted.
All religions are
in
permitted.
Iran,
Why aren't we allowed
there's
to
a
pray in
group
the
called
mosque if you're
Baha'i
under 40 in
and when they
Israel?
had the Islamic Revolution in 1979, the Baha'is had to move their headquarters out of Iran into guess where?
your friend,
Israel.
Iran. He's your
Into
friend.
Israel.
They're your friend, Iran.
In Israel, their banknotes and their coins are written in Hebrew and Arabic.
So?
All street signs are in Hebrew and Arabic.
So,
But in the Middle East,
wow, what a concession.
fantastic place, Israel. Go and have a holiday there. See what it's
Why
really
don't you
like.
live there if it's so
See what it's
good?
really like.
It's rubbish.
Israel is the only country in the Middle East where when a Muslim woman gets married, she knows her husband is not allowed to take more wives. You're only allowed one wife in Israel. The rest of the Middle East, you can have up to 4 wives.
Hello, where can I
What's
go
the
for a
problem?
holiday
You're
in Israel?
jealous.
Do you know,
Do you have a
in
wife?
Israel,
Do you have a wife?
when a Muslim
I think
woman
it might be the
gets
no, to be
married, she knows her husband is not allowed to beat
Muhammad,
her.
there's 20
But in
wives.
all the rest of the Middle East, wife beating is permitted by law, but not in Israel.
10 actually.
When a Muslim from Israel marries a Muslim from Palestine, where do they always want to live? Under Jewish law. Even though they're Muslims, they want to live in Israel, not under Palestinian rule. And yet the Muslim countries say, oh, Israel is a terrible place, it's a bad place.
I want to ask you.
Why aren't you there if it's so good?
Do you know, in Israel,
Why
you
aren't
can
you there
demonstrate
if it's so
outside the
good?
president's
Why are
house,
you living in this
outside
country?
the parliament, and you won't get shot.
Why are you
You
living
tried doing
here
that
if
in the
it's
Middle
so
East.
good?
Because I love England, I was born in England.
Oh, I see.
There we are.
It's not so good. You want to live there.
pay for you to go to Israel. When the Palestinians
What happened
signed
in
a peace
Bethlehem?
deal with Israel there will be a peace in Palestine. They can get it whenever they like, but they don't want to recognise Israel, so they won't sign a treaty with Israel. So more fool you, Palestinians, the temporary occupation will continue for some time to come. Yes, I have. I've got a DVD video player, but I've seen it. It takes all the same.
Most people have DVD players. I have an iPod.
So he's obviously got one as well. He's got both there.
Samsung Galaxy. Do you have anything on Peter, man? I've got loads of money.
Okay, I'll answer. This man asked me, why do I support the occupation from an Israeli perspective? I'll tell you why. The occupation began in 1967 when 5 Arab armies attacked Israel, and Israel defended itself. It took some land from all of them. It took it from all of them and said, anyone who makes peace with us gets their land back. But they didn't want to. They fought another war against Israel in 1973. They failed. Then Egypt, who'd had some of their land occupied, the Sinai Peninsula, Egypt made peace with Israel. So Israel then ended the occupation of the Sinai Peninsula. Then Jordan, who had lost land to Israel, made peace with Israel, and Israel got their bit of the Arab desert back. The Palestinians and Syrians know that if they make peace with Israel, they'll get their land back. Israel said so time and time again, and so far the Palestinians and Syrians still won't sign a full peace treaty with Israel. So there's a temporary occupation of Palestine.
Starting from the 1930s, how they already
Al Jazeera.
Yeah, watch Al Jazeera. There's a commentary on now about Israel and the Palestinians going right back.
Let me guess, Al Jazeera are against Israel, and on the Arab side, it's an Arab TV station. Am I right?
Actually,
I don't think so.
No, in Qatar. Everyone in Qatar.
I think so too. Yeah. Which surprised me.
America just bought one part of it. So that is why Israel says it's a temporary occupation, which is only there because the Arabs attacked them in 1967, and it will end when there's a peace treaty, a full peace treaty.
So why did the Jews attack the British there then? The Haganah and blowing up the King David.
I'll tell you why. During the Second World War, when the Nazis were trying to kill the Jews, the British put a blockade, not allowing Jews to escape to Palestine. Even though they had a mandate from the League of Nations to allow Jews to migrate there, the British stopped them migrating there. So to try and make the British allow Jews to go there, the Haganah would try to bomb the British into allowing Jews to escape from Hitler.
And who created?
That's why.
Who created the Haganah? Who created that?
What the Jews did?
No, the British did.
No.
The British took the Jews into the British army, and that was the beginning of the Haganah.
Actually, no, I'm going to explain it. The Haganah was first set up by the Jews. Then, in the Second World War, when the British needed the Jews, they recruited people from the Haganah to join the British army to go and fight in Syria, because Syria had joined forces with the Germans against the British.
Trying to beat the British's asses.
No. The Jews did what they were supposed to do. Under the terms of the League of Nations, they were allowed to migrate there. The British stopped them doing it. That is why the Haganah were trying to bomb them to stop them doing it. But still, nevertheless, fighting with the British against Hitler. And there were many Jewish forces that joined the British army. None of the Muslims did, none of the Arabs did, only the Jews did. And that wasn't when the United Nations was voting for independence for Israel. They remembered that the Jews fought against Hitler, and the Arabs either were on his side or at least stayed neutral.
Okay, so tell us about the Irgun and the Stern gang there.
Exactly the same as the Haganah, but they're a bit more extreme.
Terrorists. It's amazing. It's amazing.
One man's terrorist is another man's freedom
You steal
fighter.
someone's land.
If you're attacking soldiers and government, you're not a terrorist if you've got a good reason to do it.
I'm not a terrorist.
Good.
I would love to be a terrorist.
Women Jew cannot marry another religion.
They can and they do. In Britain, 40% of Jews marry non-Jews. It's happened throughout history. Jews have married non-Jews. The rabbis don't like it, but you're allowed to, and people do. Yep. But in the Quran it says a Muslim must only marry another Muslim. It says so in the Quran.
No, we can marry a Christian.
You can, but Quran says you shouldn't.
We can a Jewish as well.
Not according to the Quran. Anyway, so
racism.
Israel's a nice little country. Go visit it, see what it's like.
Yes.
You'll come back with a lovely suntan. You'll be in the only democracy in the Middle East. There's deserts, Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, mountains.
I don't have the
Great
right
place for
nose to be an
vegetarians.
Israeli.
Spend your money in democracy,
Yeah, but where
not
can I
in
go?
dictatorship.
Name a place. Where?
What, in Israel?
Yeah, if I want to go on holiday.
Jerusalem, Eilat, Tel Aviv, the Dead Sea, Galilee, lots of places.
Thank you.
So, do you know, any Muslim can go and visit it. I'll tell you why most Muslims don't. In almost every Muslim country, in their passport it says, this passport is valid for every country in the world except Israel. Israel says you can come in.
I have a British passport. Do I need a visa?
allow them to go into Israel.
Please.
Pardon?
Why doesn't Stephen Hawking give him the dosage? Give this guy the dosage.
Well, I think he made an error. I think he made an error. Stephen Hawking, I'll tell you something about Stephen Hawking. He's alive because of Israeli technology. Those parts in that machine that keeps him alive, there's computer chips designed and made in Israel. I think he made a mistake. Okay. He's a brilliant physicist. He's concentrated all his mind on physics and neglected other things. So I think he's made an error. No. He's very clever on physics, but he's not so clever on looking at politics.
Why are you studying?
A lot of people who specialise in one field neglect other fields, and that's what some great scientists do. They're brilliant in their own field to the exclusion of other factors.
Why do you think he made that decision?
Well, he said he disagrees with Israel ethnic cleansing, but when he was asked exactly what you mean, he won't say. So I wait till he gives his full reasons, then I'll comment on it. I have got a badge in my bag, which is my jacket I took off. I criticised Israel for building too many settlements on Palestinian land. I agree with some because before the land was partitioned by the United Nations, there were Arabs in the Jewish area and Jews in the Arab area. When the land was partitioned, every Jew was kicked out of the Arab area. And yet in Israel, there's nearly 2 million Arabs in Israel, and then all the Jews were kicked out of the Arab area. I think it's good if some Jews can live in the Arab area. It's good for the Arabs. Jews are good at business, technology, and it will show good relations between Israel and Palestine. But if the Arab Palestinian Authority goes ahead with this threat that when they get a Palestinian state, every Jew has got to get out, that will make bad relations between Israel and Palestine, which I wouldn't want to see.